Good morning, friends.
Very good morning.
There is no energy in your voice. No, how do you expect me to give presentation if you're not so energetic? So can you once again, good morning.
Good morning.
Still I don't find energy. Can we do one exercise, small one? Can you all stand up on your place? That's great. A simple one. We will clap, 1, then 2, and then cha-cha-cha. Okay? 1, 2, cha-cha. 1, 2, cha-cha-cha. Speak also. Cha-cha-cha. 1, 2, cha-cha. Deepak ji, your voice is not there. 2, cha-cha. That's 1, 2, cha-cha. Thank you, friends. Thank you. So kind of you. So, friends, today we will talk about conflict resolution. Now, why this topic has been chosen by me for you? Because, let me give you a brief. When I was a governor in 1718 and the council secretary in 1819, I came across few of the instances in my district where there was a dispute was there between the vice governors, club presidents, and one of the past district governor was removed from the club. So that time I was the vice governor one. And when I was the council secretary, one of the governors in my district didn't get his accounts passed by the conventions. So the board filed the DRPs, and there was a conflict which I think so moved around for around 6 and 7 months. So that time I came to know closely about what the conflict is, how conflict is resolved, how it can be resolved, and what are the LCI has done to solve such problems internally. That is the most important part of it. So, can somebody give me the reason, explain words conflict resolution? What do you mean by the word conflict first? Anyone? In general terms, I don't want any technical, specific, scientific.
Conflict is first of all difference of opinion and difference of thinking.
Difference of opinion, difference of
particular matter.
Exactly. Thank you. Anyone else?
Difference of perception.
Difference of perceptions.
Ideology,
Good.
thought.
Very good. Yes. What about you? Anything you want to add? And what about resolution? What do you mean by the word resolution?
How to resolve the problem.
Resolve the
Find
problem.
solution to the problem.
Find solution to the problem. What else? Anything else?
Yeah.
How is resolution different from management? Can we say conflict management over here? LCI could have written management, but it writes the resolution. See, the basic purpose of me explaining this is, we are going to learn what is conflict resolution is. But first of all, let us learn what the resolution means. Speak whatever. I may be wrong if I give you a definition.
Is something which is agreeable to both the parties.
Exactly.
That is resolved.
That is resolved. Exactly. Anything? What about management?
Management. You are managing the things, so you are the last.
Yes, exactly. See.
May I say something?
Sure.
The resolutions and management means resolutions with the disagreement becomes one. That is the gut solutions.
Yes.
And the management means may not be one,
Yes.
but wouldn't move forward. That means manage, narrow down, but don't make them far from.
Far from. Exactly. See, in my opinion, resolution means when you want to solve something, when you want to come to a solution something, you try to resolve that problem. And when you don't want to solve, when you want to hide, when you want to go away from it, then you do the management. So say for example, if there is a conflict or there is a problem in your district, if you want to solve, you will go for the resolution. You will call parties together and do something. If there is a problem in your districts related to the past governors or vice governors, and you think it's touching something, hornets, nets or something like that, you will try to manage it. How? Let's linger on, give it to the next vice governor.
Nice.
So that is a management, basically in urbanistic terms, if I speak about, and this is a resolution. Today we'll go about the resolution. Can somebody say what are the types, what types of conflict is there? See, let me give you your few friends.
Yes, it's a what I should say in terms of different types of conflict. Yeah, by the components, it's internal conflict, bilateral conflict, and multilateral conflict.
Exactly. And what else? Anyone else to add something to it? See, in my opinion, conflict is between, there could be a conflict between two persons, one person or a group, or between two groups. Okay? This is called interpersonal conflict. Then there is a conflict within ourselves. Suppose Mandiraji is from you are all vice governors, district governors elect. So district governors elect may be asked to go for taking oath in such a country where this is very far and she is not able to go in that case. So she is having a conflict within her intra-conflict, that is she is having a conflict within herself. Shall I go or not? My family is there. So that kind of conflict is arising. There you cannot solve the problem with the conflict resolution, this type of solution. That's an intra one. So there is an intra conflict. One is the sub-unconscious conflict. Unconscious conflict means sometimes your desires are not met. So they are suppressed down to deep conscious level. At that time, when it comes up in the form of some motivated forgetting, or it comes in the form of a writing, or it comes up in the form of some comments. So that kind of a thing comes to unconscious conflict. Today, we are going to deal with the interpersonal conflict between one person or between two persons, or between a person and a group. So that is most important. Now, let me ask you a question. Is conflict good or bad? Bad, we all know that. None of the conflicts is bad. It's already so.
Just I should not always bad.
Not always bad. Can you say what are the good points of it? Can you write down on the this lecture? What are the good points? I would like to have every one of you to write one point why conflicts are good. Pre-conflict, post-conflict, during conflict, what are the good points of that? Just one short one. Sure. Just one word or two. One point. Deepak ji?
If there is any conflict and if you are
Benefits out of that. What benefits you will
Yeah.
get? Is conflict good or bad?
Democratic.
Democratic. Exactly. Good. Perfect. Mantra ji? Positive.
Debate and discussions. Sometimes it leads to debate, which is very much necessary.
Good, perfect. So now, you being district governors elect, I must first congratulate you, and you are going to face these problems in your coming tenure. So from now onwards, never think conflicts arising in your district during your tenure as a district governor to be bad or to be something to be afraid of. Okay? It is good, it's going to be good, and there are going to be certain benefits also out of it. So never be afraid of it, it's going to be better one. Now, before I give you definition of the conflict, can I say that suppose I'm giving you a scenario, you're standing in a queue, buying tickets from a railway station, and all of a sudden someone from the back line, he comes forward and takes the tickets with the one. Is that a conflict, or if not a conflict, then what it is? And there is an argument going on, heat of exchange of words is there.
See, which train is within half an hour and if just come at the last moment.
Nobody knows that, man. Nobody
No,
knows that.
people will ask him, no, he will request.
But some
Same
of the
thing happens in the check-in at the
Yes,
airport
yes.
also.
So will that be a conflict? Once you buy the ticket, you go out of the station, so nobody remembers. So that is not a conflict. That could be an argument was there.
Yeah.
There could be an argument. So that is not a conflict. Suppose take for example another one, in your club meeting, if venue, there is a questions arising on venue, where the district visits venue is to be organized. So some members or one of the members or the president may have difference of opinion. Now there is a proposal, it should be here, it should not be there. What kind of, is that a conflict? Or is something else? Any synonyms for that?
That is not really a conflict,
That
but
is not.
it is
Yes,
a difference of opinion, and then they have to resort to some.
Exactly, that is not a conflict, that is disagreement.
Unanimously.
That is disagreement. Conflict is something, it's a continuous process. It is derived from the Latin word conflicts, which means striking two things at the same time. and it is a continuous process where first party, between two parties it is, conflict is always between two parties. It is where the first party perceives that the second party is negatively affecting or about to negatively affect something that the first party cares about. And it's a process. It's not a one-time event or just momentarily thing. So it's a continuous process. So where one party, suppose Shiva thinks that Rudra is going to negatively affect us or already affected. So that way the conflict will start between both of them. So you understand the clear concept of the conflict? Yes. So whenever there is a problem in your district, so first analyze whether it is a conflict, it's a disagreement, or it's an argument. Then it will become far more easy. Can someone, Shiva, can you read the session of
The session objectives: recognize the cause of conflict,
Yes.
apply the interest-based relational approach, explain LCI's dispute resolution procedures.
So by the end of this session, you participants, you being a district governors in that, will be able to recognize the causes of the conflict. You will be able to apply the interest-based relational approach, how to solve these conflicts. Even if the conflict is not resolved or solved, then there is a LCI dispute resolution procedures. So since being district governors, most of you will be dealing with the clubs. So we'll briefly go through the club dispute resolutions here. So by the end of the sessions, you will be able to do all such, you'll be able to define and things. Can somebody think, since you have been vice district governors elect, say many of you must be around 15 or 20 years of liaison you have. Can you think about any conflict in your district? Any one conflict, quickly. Anyone simple, say between governors, vice governors, zone chairperson, region chairperson. You yourself as a leader, when you thought something is not correct.
Especially the district politics.
Can you just write, because what we are going to write the reasons also for that, not now, later on. One example, if it is possible, one example from your district, just in short.
Issues of elections.
Issues of elections, correct. Formation of trust. Can you explain formation of trust as conflict in your district?
Yes.
What?
We are already having two trusts in our district.
Acha, trust, that trust.
Oh,
right?
sorry. Oh. Sorry.
The more meanings you trust in.
I thought that trust. Mandraji?
Can I write about district government?
Yeah, anyone. We're not going to send this to the district government.
Making team as we
Yes. Any one conflict which you have seen over the years or which has been resolved through DRP also, that is also.
No, where I have been a conciliator also.
Acha, you must be knowing. I can write that particular one also. Rest of you, can you write down on you got stick pads over here. Can you write down the probable causes of these conflicts? On this pad, sticky pad you have. First of all, say for example, Ruth, you write what could be the reasons between issues of election and formation of trust and making team as a VDG and one cause for each. Just one word.
One word.
One word for each of these four disputes, conflicts in districts. We want to analyze the cause. So all of you will rise, then we will make some common causes out of that. Okay? Just one word quickly. What could be the reason behind issues of election? What could be the reasons behind formation of trust? So various trusts are being formed, so there could be maybe some conflict is there. Making team as a VDG elect, when you are making your teams, so there could many conflicts must be there. As a PDG draft from the club, which I mentioned. Probable cause, maybe non-payment. Let me give you support you. Let me guide you. So PDG means non-attendance. Some politics is there in the club or non-dispute. Just write on the pad. Let's write on the pad. Just write it. You stick it over here.
You have to speak it.
When you have written, please just stick it out. Just write it and stick it over.
Where is it? Only one or?
One, just one. Answers to 4, but 1 or 2. One or two. So ego is there, possibly, yes. Multiple aspirants for the same post, yes. Lesser loser party distracts these issues of faith. Alleged to have profound source. Okay, that's great. Now, whatever you written, what I understand, this could be, we may summarize these into these causes of conflict. Trivedi, can you read the first one?
Yeah.
And can you open your participants manual, page 1?
Causes of conflict, the first one is interest or values cherished.
Participants manual, page 1. Interests or values are changed. You can see over there, conflict occurs when a person ignores, challenges or misinterprets another interest or values. So certain interests or values are challenged. Can you find this cause among these? Yes, you find that. Say for example, interest, a particular member, his interest may be of service in a club, so that's why he's joined over that. But that club is interested in funny parties and something like that. So his interests and values are challenged over there. So there will be a dispute, and he will say that I am going. And when governors learns, there will be a conflict between the president and the governor. Why did you accept that, and why did you do that? Second is needs are not met. Sometimes needs are not met. For what you came, what you want, are not met by the organization. So that is happening. So when they are ignored also, they are obstructed and not recognized. So that is power over the authority has been challenged. Say some member from your club or the zone chairperson or say region chairperson in a region conference, governor wants region chairperson to call a particular vice governor as his guest, but the region chairperson has his own intentions, his own calculations. So there could be a possible conflict. It usually happens everywhere. It happens.
Everywhere.
It's a live example. So there the power of authority of the, whose is it challenged? No, the power of authority of governor is challenged. Zone also challenged, irrespective. But he is telling you, region chairperson is challenged. Region chairperson has right to call anyone. But governor thinks he has right to dictate things. This is my district. Who should be the guest in my district? I shall decide. So these power and authority of both are challenged. Then there is a misunderstanding. Say for example, there is a misunderstanding of president of a club is not interested in adding members. Got it? But you as a vice governor one has a responsibility, you had a responsibility of adding membership growth. Now the president is not adding because it says club policy not to add members more than 1 or 2. So there the misunderstanding happens because vice governor, the governor team, he has a big picture of the district. He has to think about the big membership growth in the district. He has to think about the organization as well. But you are limited only to the, yes.
We are facing this conflict in our association, in our club.
It usually
we are
happens.
220 members. We are as policy adding 1 or 2, whatever it should be from family members.
It usually happens.
But the governors are
It usually happens.
insisted to add more members.
Yes. What happens at your home? Is there a conflict over there, or argument, or disagreement, or quarrel? What happens at home?
What brand of tea is to be purchased?
Definitely
Everyone, what it is called conflict is a disagreement or argument or the quarrel. All is there. And who wins?
Sometimes sometimes.
I don't think so. Sometimes is there. Mandraji, who wins? She must be knowing it.
I'm the boss.
You are the boss. So it usually happens. But
usually children's will win.
Children's will.
Yes.
So don't apply this at certain at your home, okay? Because there won't be any resolution over there. There will be only one solution that you won't be getting food for next 3-4 days. Okay? So this is not applicable for everywhere. It is only applicable when you are dealing with the persons of organizations behind certain. Now open your participants manual 1. So we are going to solve, how do we solve these problems? The problems of, there are certain steps in it, and there are 2 ways of solving problems. One is Thorman's Kilman theory, another is the interest-based relational approach. Thomas Kilmann's story, there's a conflict procedure, is basically applicable between persons. But this is applicable in all the situations, whether it is an organization, whether it is individuals, whether between individuals and organizations, between business. So we will go for the interest-based relational approach, which is usually adopted in the nice organization. Deepak ji, can you read this thing?
The interest-based relational approach. Your role as a leader is not simply to resolve conflict, but to ensure that people feel respected and understood.
Shivaji, what are the words in it which have a deep-rooted meaning?
As a leader, resolve conflict, respected and understood.
Most important words are respected and understood. See, in Lions organization, we are volunteers. So we are not paid employees that you can fire anybody and induct anybody. We are all volunteers. So when there is a conflict between or differences of opinion between two, we have to resolve it so that each person is properly respected. It's a win-win situation for all this, and why he is behaving like that is to be understood. Only then you will be able to solve, as governor next year, you will be able to solve the other. And then when you resolve the solution like this, when you resolve the problem in this manner, particularly, you will not only be applauded, but also you will be respected and you will have more credibility as a leader. So that is most important of all. Come to the page number 2 of your participants manual. There are certain guidelines written over here. Okay, page number 2. There are certain guidelines how to resolve this method. In this method, we resolve, we take the guidelines. There are 6 guidelines. Rudra, can you read first one point?
Make sure that good relationships are a priority.
This is the most important. Okay, make sure that relationships are property. Somebody was mentioning a few days ago in this that leadership by relationship is always better than the authority, because you will be respected later on also. So we have to go for the leadership by relationship. This is what exactly they are saying. That is, treat everyone with respect. Okay, and be courteous and discuss matter constructively. You don't have to spoil your relations with the president or with the, if such a dispute comes up. You have to deal. Okay. Second point, Mandira.
Separate people from problems.
That is the most important. Separate people from the problem. Try to understand why people or the person is taking his stand. Maybe there must be some reason behind that. So what are the basic problems behind that person taking such a stand? So you have to be very careful and separate people from the problems, then only you will be able to do it. Third one, sure?
Listen carefully to different interests.
Listen carefully to the different interests. Try to understand every point of view and see that why they have taken that position. So this listen is very important.
Which one?
First one.
First one. Listen first, talk second.
This is the most important thing. Except when you are a trainer or a leader or a presenter, you have to talk and listen. You talk more and listen more. But here you have to listen first and talk second. Because you know why? How many eyes we have? Two. How many ears we have?
2.
And mouth?
1.
So God has even told you, listen more and talk second. So that same thing you should apply in the organization also. So you being as leader next year as a district governor, you have to listen first. Because unless, if you don't listen, you will go to a certain problem or certain situation with a preconceived notion of solution. So that way there won't be any discussion. That president has not given me the vote. Whatever the problem in his club, I will fire the president. Or give decision or tell the conciliator to give decision against him. So that preconceived things should not happen. It usually happens, but you as a leader, you should take care of that. Next one, set out the facts. Before coming to anything solution, you have to set out the facts. Try to understand what the basic problem is, what is the issues involved into it, and how it is possible.
By listening to all the...
By listening. What else? Shiva? Brainstorm. Until unless we discuss, come to the table. If you don't come to the table, how are you going to find the facts? How do you find what are the facts involved into it? What exactly you want? What exactly the other party wants? So you have to come, sit at the table. Then only you will find the facts will come out of it. And this is not possible in one meeting. It may take several meetings. We'll discuss that later on. Okay. Now, last one, you explore options together. When you come at the table, when you set out the facts, you come with the problems, what problems they face, what is the issues involved, what are their concerns. Then you will brainstorm sessions, sit, novel solutions come up. One more important thing. You as a governor next year, and I told you earlier also, don't come to the situation or don't come to the solution beforehand. If you come to the solution beforehand, I will tell you personally, that person or both the parties are not happy. It is better let them discuss, let them fight, let them come out with all their issues, and let them give the solution themselves only. You only have to put your seal on that. So that is the best way to do it. Otherwise, you take a decision and both the parties are not happy. Whether you taken it anybody's personal interest or anybody's side you have taken. So that is one thing which is very important. Now for that we have 5 steps, core steps for the conflict resolution. Open your page 3 of your participant manual. There are 5 core steps to the solution. So first of all, up till now we have identified what the conflict is, what the conflict resolution is, then what are the causes of the conflict in our lines fraternity, and what are the guidelines lines has given us and which approach we use, and what are the guidelines, inherent 6 guidelines we have. So based on those guidelines, there are 5 steps next. Can anybody explain this? In general terms, technical I will do, but in general, what the set the scene is. See, you are wise governors, you are good DG elects. You must have gone through all this. You must have gone through, because during election tenure, election year also, election period also, many such issues must have cropped up. That that other party is giving so and so, governor is not listening to
the party.
Yes, set the scene.
Make a call to both the party.
Okay.
Listen to their interest and their needs.
Yes. Hey, I'm just asking about this slide.
Just recognize and visualize the scene of conflict.
Yes, exactly. What else?
Set the ground rules.
Exactly. Set the ground rules. What the ground rules are. Suppose we both are fighting. So we have to come, before coming, we have to set the ground rules that we won't bring pistols and we won't bring some pelwans with us. So that is the ground rules you have to set. We will sit, we will be assertive but not aggressively. We will respect each other. So those ground rules have, and we will be committed to the solution in the end. That is the most important part of it. Until unless you set these ground rules, you will, even if you come to a solution, nobody is going to respect that. So set the ground, set the scene. That is the most important. It's written over there. Can you just go through it for one moment? For 1 or 2 minutes? Set the ground. Establish ground rules. Review and agree to the interest-based relational approach guidelines. Then ensure that everyone is respected. And practice active listening skills. So I told you listening is very important. So these ground rules, everybody, both the parties involved have to listen to each other. That is important. Next is gather information. Until unless you know or the consolidator knows what precisely are the issues. If you don't get the information, you can't pinpoint the problem. So how to gather information? How to gather is brother? Just read it 1 point and get it. Or any one of you have any other idea?
If there is any data, then first you have to get the factual data
Yes.
of some election results or whatever you told about the issue of election.
Yes.
That the awards given and all the papers related to election.
Yes.
The data is to be collected
Yes. Yes.
of both the candidates.
Try to understand the position of each person, both the parties involved in it, and put a great deal of discussion based on trust or not. That is very important. Okay. Agree on the problems. Since you have set the ground rules, you have gathered the information when you call the parties, so now you can pinpoint the problems. Too many problems will be there. Some may be just exchange of words, some may have to sound reality. Okay? Getting my point? Some may be just exchange of words during discussions. So you have to separate those things and pinpoint the particular problem. So that is most important thing, okay? So agree on a particular problem and based on that our resolution will start. Brainstorm possible solutions. Can you, Madhiraji, can you say something about brainstorm?
You get both the parties together to give their own views and opinions so that, you know, whatever problems they have, it comes out.
Exactly. Shiva, you want to add something?
Yes, that's the thing. Asking what's the problem all about and what we are in need. You have to interact with both the people, and you have to get the ideas from both the people.
Okay. So basically, you have brainstorming means coming together based on the ground rules we had set earlier. We will discuss and try to find a possible solution. So consulator or the vice, as a district governor yourself, you should not, I told you earlier, you should not come to the solution. You come with the solution. Some innovative solutions, ideas may come up to solve the problems. That is very essential. So that keep in mind, okay? And one of the positive strength of the brainstorming is that all inner things, whatever you have, good or bad, for the other person that comes out, and as a result, good working relationships later on is there. So brainstorming is very essential. Now, even if there is negotiated solution, suppose in the brainstorming session also you don't come out come at a solution, what happens then?
Try to convince them by way of negotiation.
Yes. Now, what is negotiation? What is negotiation?
Give and take.
See, listen, you are going to be governors. So you have to think like a governor.
We have to create a win-win situation basically, so that you get something, and both are happy.
Yes, it's a trading of positions. It's a trading of demands or needs or interests. So that is where the negotiate. Once we try to form a common solution, if it is not possible, then this trading is there, and we try to come to a solution which is acceptable to both. If both the parties are happy in that. So win-win situation for both of them. So are you clear?
Yes.
You getting my point?
Yeah, of course.
The concept of conflict,
Yes.
the concept of conflict resolution,
Yes.
guidelines, how you are going to resolve it, and the steps, 4 steps, 5 steps we take. You clear about that? Then only we can move to the next part. Deepak ji, so clear it?
Yes.
See, one thing I tell you, please remember in mind, when you are going to be governor next year, always solve a problem like this. If you don't solve it, you solve it arbitrarily listening to the RCs and your vice governors only. Some vice governors, they have different opinions about some and that particular problem because they have own vested interest. So you have to be very careful. Tell them, I will go for as per the guidelines of the LCI. So otherwise, I will have to face the DRP. Clear? Now we'll do a small activity or role play. And this activity or the role play is based on 6 guidelines we just studied and 5 core steps. We will taking these 4 core steps based on those 6 guidelines. Okay? So turn to your page number 4 of your participants manual. You ready for that?
Yes.
Yes.
Up till now you're clear now?
Yes.
Okay. Now turn to the page 4 of participants manual. There is a scenario number 2. We'll take the scenario. Though 2 scenarios are there, we'll take the scenario 2. Can somebody read it quickly?
Okay. One of the clubs in your
Listen carefully.
One of the clubs in your district has successfully recruited new young members, but many of new members live within the first year. We have discovered that the reason for leaving is that they feel they are not given the opportunity to take an active role in the club.
Shiva, district governor? No, this is just wait. This is the exercise we are going to take collectively. Okay, all 4 persons are involved in it. Can I ask 2 of you to come this way? You also. Just have a seat over here. Just have a chair. Okay.
Okay.
So you understood what the scenario is?
Yes.
One of the clubs in your district has successfully recruited 4 new members, but members are leaving. Why so? Because they are not given opportunity to take an active role in the club. Okay, so now there is a governor, there is a club officer, there is a member. You just read it in 1 minute.
Mandira, you are
Read it quietly, 1 minute.
you are district governor,
I'm district governor.
he is club officer,
Okay.
and we are 2 new members who are leaving.
New member, yes.
One of you is going to be district governor.
She is district
Mandira is
governor,
district
he is club
You
officer.
you would be. Acha, she is district governor.
Yeah,
Okay.
he is club officer, and we 2 are new members.
No, one of you is going to be new member. One is going to be observer.
Observer.
Yes.
Okay.
One of you is going to be
Okay,
observer,
I'm new.
and observer has to
Okay,
give a
you are
debriefing later
observer.
on.
I'm new. member.
What they did,
Okay.
how they did it.
Okay.
So who is going to be governor?
So he let him be governor.
You be governor.
Okay.
है ना? You study your role. What governor is doing. Mandira ji, yourself.
Myself, club officer.
Observer.
Observer. Okay, yourself.
Club officer.
Club officer. Read your respective role.
I'm new member.
You are the new member. Okay. You got the scenarios now. So I'm giving you 10 minutes. I'm giving you 8 minutes. Okay. New member is leaving because he is not being given the responsibility of the council. Okay, he has complained. President is not listening to me. Maybe president is having his own version or his own ideas or his own issues. So that matter has come to the knowledge of district governor. Got it? Situation is clear. Now, how district governor is sitting with them and how is going to resolve the issues between these two. And an observer is also there. So based on the 6 guidelines we had, you can turn pages also, you can turn back the pages. Based on 6 guidelines and the 5 steps that's written on the screen, you have to solve the problem. Why he is leaving, why he can be, because governor is concerned. Membership stoppage is there, okay?
You are president, club president.
Club officer.
Club officer is
Well, club officer is president, secretary, made the president.
Now, I will ask you that Shiva,
Why
I
not
will call him also.
why not we give more opportunity?
No, first of all, I said that
Governor would take.
when we are discussing this issue, we will all agree on at some point, and it will not be a personalized discussion, but it will be for the good of the organization. Basically, we want new members so that we can have more service. That is the idea with which we work. So, I will ask you that, Shiva, why your new member is leaving? So you will answer that he is too impatient. He wants
Not given
he
opportunity.
wants involvement yesterday or whatever he wants.
You say the scenario first. That's all. The first paragraph.
Yeah.
Ask me. Why should I give an opportunity to the new members?
Okay.
That time I replied.
So I will say.
They are new.
So when you say
They don't know anything about linism and about the projects, how we are going to execute. So they have to get experience from the senior members. That I will tell. So we can, after getting experiences, we can allow us to take any project. So let us give opportunity for them to execute or to be in position. Why not you give opportunity? That's the first one.
then I will ask member also that why you are leaving. So I get that information first.
New member.
Yes,
I will get that information from Mr.
yes. I just,
Why you want to leave?
I have been member from last 6 months. I have contributed many donations and secretariat for different service projects, and even I got the MGR. But till date, I have not given any responsibility, any opportunity. And why should I pay only the dues in the club, contributor? Even my feelings, my dignity are not recognized here. This is my opinion.
You will be called for 2 minutes over here, giving each person's position, role play which you play.
Okay. next question.
Now,
Also, Asim, please
yeah,
go on, sir.
Shiva, as I gathered information from Rudra, he feels that he is in the club for last 6 months, but he has not been given any responsibility. Now, you know that LCI has a very, very needed new member orientation program. So, have you done the new orientation program in your club?
Don't try to fill the gap. Let him attend the meeting regularly and take some experience, be with the experienced people, that we give opportunity for them, sure.
Now, do you agree on the point that new member orientation is a good program designed by LCI?
New member orientation is a must only, it's not a matter.
It's not required, you mean?
No, it's must.
It's must, yeah. So has he undergone that new member orientation program, you remember?
I don't know, please ask him.
Have you undergone a new member orientation?
Not.
Not yet.
Can how president, how can he enroll new members with that orientation? Ask them to attend orientation, then only they know how they have to give response to the senior members. They will know the procedure of liaison.
Okay.
Then they will be interested in the liaison.
But one thing we
Otherwise,
agree,
nothing will happen.
Shiva, one thing we all agree on that we need more members so that we get more service.
Sure.
And as of his background, you can see that he has done many donations also within 6
Sorry,
months.
sir. Just adding members, it doesn't give productivity.
No. So he is contributing to the community in some way or other. So what is good?
I think you're going off the track. It is not about adding members. It is the member has already been added.
Retention.
It is
What is
retention. It is a retention.
Retention is.
What I heard you
You are
discussing about
Retention.
adding.
Here the subject is
Going off track.
retention.
You have it is
Why
basically a
will you
question of retention.
Make them to be
There is a
retained.
dispute between a new member and the president. Getting a point? This is existing dispute.
No.
The new member is being thrown away, is not given responsibility by this fellow.
No, he is not, he is new member.
I am new.
Actually, you are new member. So president is not giving. Sorry,
That's
president
what
is not giving.
That's what we are
That's
discussing.
it. Why he is not giving the opportunity to him? And what are your concerns? You should write down. I'll call you.
Yeah,
It's okay.
got it.
So what I think is that it is always better to try further a potential member and involve him more and more into the club activities.
It's
whatever
good
it is.
governor, you are concentrating just adding member, that's all. But we are
No,
having
it's not
some
that.
policies
It's
in
not
our
that.
club.
It's not that. It is our basically more members only will be able to do more service. Then we get more community feedbacks.
Sorry,
Have you done
just
CPO?
numbers can't do anything.
So just 1 minute.
He has to
Okay.
do something.
Yeah.
He has to do something.
No, but that is all right. That is your personal perspective.
No,
But
it's
you are
very-
a
it's
club,
quite common.
you are a club officer
Yes.
of bicycle international. So as per the what we have designed, do you really feel that a person who is there for 6 months is contributing to the community work should be given a chance to perform and
Please,
involve
please.
him?
Ask him how many meetings he has attended consequently.
No, once he is oriented, then he will realize the importance of leadership, and then he may be interested in some leadership portfolios. You can assign him some kind of, committee work.
Then let me make a resolution without orientation. You should not add any new members. You have to conduct
Once
orientation
we
with
add
the club
new member, then
district
only,
officials.
No, new member orientation will be only after we add,
Yes.
never before that. Okay? New member orientation only after we add the member.
Okay.
So-
The new member orientation is the
okay.
responsibility of the president.
Did you identify
Yes.
what was
Yes.
issues?
Yes.
Based on did you use these 5 steps?
Shiva,
Okay.
and you have to agree.
Did you
Agree
did
to
you
send them for some
No.
orientation
He is the
program.
district governor, so he asked me to accept it.
so as a district governor, who was a district governor here? So did you find the solution? Yes, sure.
Yes, we are.
Okay.
Mandraji, it seems you have written a long letter.
Yes, I have written. I was listening.
It's a
to
complaint to the governor or something?
Both. The
Just 2 minutes, okay? We have running short of time, so just within 2 minutes you explain.
Okay.
Basic problems in 1 or 2 lines. What the solution? How did you achieve that solution? How do you came to that solution? The process is important to me, not the solution. Okay?
Hello, how are you all?
Hello, Governor.
Okay.
It's fine.
Okay. Now, I have called this meeting, to see that your member.
A bit louder, sir.
Your member do not leave, right?
Okay.
So, first of all, let us set the ground rule that whatever we discuss here is nothing to be taken in person. We are part of the organization, we are working for the betterment of the organization, and accordingly we will take our decisions. Agree on this point?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, I will ask the member first why he wants to leave, right? Rudra, why do you want to leave within 6 months' time?
Okay, sir. I have joining these organizations last 6 months,
Yeah.
and they request me to contribute many times in the service circuit. I have
Okay.
contributed a lot of things in
Okay.
the service circuit.
Okay.
And they have got a membership was there.
Okay. Okay. Great.
But still, nobody are listening my opinion, my views, and my project, and etc.
You are in any committee?
Not any income. I am not any.
You have been oriented to the new
Not
mandate?
yet, sir. So why should I pay only the money
Okay.
in this item?
Okay. Now, Shiva, you heard what the president has to say, what the member has to say. What is your perception on his treatment?
Sir, of course, he is a very good member. He's contributing a lot. But what we are having a system in our club. New members, they have to give first respect to the senior members, experienced members. And second one, we can't give any responsibility or position immediately they come as a new member because we are a larger club with about 200 members. So, let him to wait for some more period, got experience how the procedures, what we are doing in our club while doing service projects. Afterwards, we can give responsibility to him, no problem.
Shiva, what about orientation in your club?
Orientation, we are
Because you have
almost,
200 plus members and you will be getting 5 new members. So what about the?
we are recruiting 1 or 2 members every year. So it's conducting orientation for 1 or 2 is not possible for us.
And don't you think that applying same strict to all the members is not correct? If we see a potential member, then we should give him a chance and see if he can become an asset to the organization in the future.
Sure, it's sure that.
Yeah.
He is a very good contributor to our organization,
Yeah.
that's
So
sure.
if you develop him, give him some opportunities, then he can be an asset to the organization in the future. Why don't you look at it positively?
Without giving any, how the procedures are, without knowing him,
No.
then how he is able to
He
do
will,
it?
he will learn. You will learn, or if you are given a committee
So
post,
we are running
you
short.
will learn.
Let
Yeah.
me give an idea, sir.
Yeah.
Instead of asking us to conduct orientation with 1 or 2 members, why not you do in a district level?
No, we'll do it.
Mr. Governor, I think you understood what his issues are. Did you come to a solution to it?
Yeah.
Based on,
No, so what I
please.
suggest is, Shiva, do you agree with me that he should be given an opportunity as a supremo of the club, so that we get a potential member, because here this is nothing personal, we are doing it for the organization.
Sure,
Did you-
sure, we are ready to give.
Very good,
That's-
very nice, thank you. So, you will get the opportunity, but you have also to see, and you also to have some patience.
Stick on with it.
And because nothing comes, overnight. So you have to have the patience also, but he will definitely give you the opportunities. So be with the land, you have that in mind to have something to give back to the society. So keep doing that. Okay?
Thank you, Governor, for resolving this
Thank you.
conflict.
Can
Thank
you
you.
clap for each one?
Welcome.
Can you clap? Okay. Just before you go, I would like to have briefly from the observer. Did you observe what they were doing?
Yes.
And your observation should be based on these parameters. Okay? Did you set the scene? Did they
They
gather
did set
information?
the
How
scene.
they do it?
They gathered information by talking to the club president and also to the new member. Then the brainstorming took place. Okay, he let both the parties tell their problems. He tries to find a win-win situation, and he was a very good listener and was supportive. And finally, negotiating a solution that at the district level, they're going to organize a club level, the new member orientation. He has to send his new members to the new member orientation so that they be oriented and be satisfied.
As an observer, are you satisfied with what the
Yes,
process they adopted?
very much
So, and as a new member's concern, are you satisfied with the solution?
Yes.
So you won't file any DRP? Thank you.
Not necessary.
So thank you. Kindly take your seat, and a big round of applause for everybody. Okay. So friends, I hope you understood the process. By doing this core activity, the intention was how to solve problems in an organized manner. So if you solve problems step by step, LCI has beautifully defined these steps. So if you solve problems taking these guidelines, earlier 6 guidelines and 5 these steps, I don't think so any problem will go to the DRP. Any DRP will be filed in the LCI or with the district governors. Now, if there is no solution and even a negotiation is not possible, what to do then? You can't hire a lawyer and go to the court. Can you do that?
No.
So hiring an LCI clearly specifies that. You as a vice governor, district governor should be knowing this. Any LCI is clearly specified. You cannot go to the district this thing without legal. We cannot take the legal course. We have to go for the club dispute resolution. What exactly? I will give you briefly. What is a club dispute? Since most of the time you will be dealing with the clubs only and clubs problems. So we will discuss here the club dispute resolution. In the club dispute resolution procedure, first of all, the complainant has to file a written request with the district governor within 30 days of the occurrence of the event, or he comes to know about that event. Okay? And with the filing fee, it has to be submitted with a filing fee of $50. So it can be extended also to $250 depending on the decision of the cabinet. Okay? Now district governor has to appoint a neutral conciliator, which should be done within 30 days of the receipt of this letter. Okay? And conciliator should be the past district governor of the club in a good standing. And he should not be a member of the party of those parties. The parties are involved in which. Now, conciliator arranges a meeting of the parties within 15 days. A notice is served. Letter is also gone to the letter also goes to the other party. Respondent, he has to give a return reply within 10 days to the district governor. And the acceptance of the conciliator is also mandatory. It should be to both the parties. If they have a difference of opinion in accepting the conciliator, they can write to the district governor team, and district governor team can take a decision within 15 days. Okay? Whether you are, and by majority, this happened in my case. One of the conciliator was not happy, but we as a DG team, 2 of us were one on the same track, so we appointed the same and rejected the this objection letter. So a conciliator arranges a meeting within 15 days, within 30 days of the appointment, and that meeting, if a solution is taken within 30 days of that meeting, he has to take a decision and a written reply has to be given. Okay, so that is the process. This is in brief I am going to give you. You being a governor next time, you should go to the Reliance website. All the details are given over there, or in your district e-book also, there is a full procedure is given. See, what I told you out of this whole session, did you realize that conflict is a problem? Or you can solve the conflict next year.
Conflict is a
solvable
problem.
It is a solvable problem. Okay? So don't be afraid of club disputes, presidents complaining, members complaining, zone chairperson, region chairpersons complaining to you next year. Okay? It is a solvable problem. The problem occurs when? The problem is, this is not the problem. When will the problem occur? If you don't solve the problem. It is not the conflict, it is how you deal with it. Got it?
Yes.
Simply ignoring, simply avoiding it won't solve it. So, face the problems, face the conflicts head on. Call the parties, use these steps. I am 100% sure all your disputes will be solved. So that is the most important thing. And don't try to manage the problem. We have just gone through the resolution process. Try to have a resolution of that issues. Don't go for the management. Management is nothing but suppressing someone, throwing someone away, lingering on, delaying it for the next event. So don't do that. If you do that management, it will be a headache for the next one also, and your relationship will be spoiled for the whole leadership. Okay? So that is one of the major points I wanted to do. Do you have any, can you give an example of the DRP in your districts? Anyone, if you find you being, if you must have gone through all these things as a vice governor since last so many years.
In our district, there was one time happened that there was an election, and the one who lost complained about the wards. So I was one of the person who was helping the conciliator, and we collected all the data, including the election sheet and wards, and everything was collected, proper data was made, and the same thing then we sent to international for that.
So was this process followed?
That is the dispute resolution
Yeah.
process.
And before that,
That is
resolution
dispute
process?
resolution.
Before that,
Club resolution.
was there any efforts made for the conflict?
Club resolution, club dispute I have not come across, so somebody else can better answer.
Okay, okay.
We have experience.
You experienced this. Same process of conflict
Yes.
resolution was resolved, and if not, then this whole tedious process of DRP has to go. So try to avoid we reach such a situation.
If the solution is not there,
Which
then
one?
it obviously it would be manageable.
Which solution?
If you just say the don't go to the management, yes, conflict management. But if it's not possible to resolve the issues, then at least we manage the problem.
If it is not possible to resolve the issue through conflict resolution process,
Yes.
then this is the way. And once a conciliatory decision is being given after meeting of both the parties, it has to be, it is final and binding.
That is fine.
And it is committed, both are committed to follow it. Non-following it is will make you unbecoming a lion. Either that club charter will be thrown out, charter will be withdrawn, or that member will be withdrawn from the club, or will be dropped from the club, or expelled from the club by the LCI. LCI will get due direction. So it is, when you appoint a conciliator means, irrespective of whether you like it or not, it is his decision is going to be finalized for both things.
There is no chance for.
There is no chance for hearing. This is the
for-
ultimate authority. No, if you go to the court again, if you go take the legal course over there, you do an act which is unbecoming of a man. And again, you will be out of the organization. See, we have to solve, we don't solve our internal home problems going to the neighbors. Do we do that?
No.
We never. So why can't we do it over here also? Why to go in the public with my loudspeaker and shout? We have so and so issues in our organizations. Do it here. This is what LCI has done beautifully. Okay, so you as governors next year, I'm pretty sure enough will be able to solve. So congratulations to both all of you.
Really, I have
And one more
question.
thing. Yes.
I have one question.
Yes.
That, when this conciliator, as a Nepal district governor is made as conciliator, whether it is accepted by both the complainant and defendant?
If
They have-
within 15 days they have a right to file the objection.
Okay.
Within 15 days they have a right to file the objection, and the DG team will decide. I told you, DG team will decide whether the objection is valid or not. If once they will appoint a new conciliator, and if you don't like, again there is an objection, then or the governor does not do this, appoints a new conciliator, then the LCI will step in and appoint a conciliator. So I hope the session objectives of today's are completely. You have recognized the causes of the conflict. You applied the interest-based relational approach, and we have even if that is not solution is not there, then the LCI dispute resolution will be followed. So I hope the concept of conflict and your will be clear, and next year will be a great year. Okay, thank you friends, thank you so much. Thank you. You are a great participants.